So never let a crisis go to waste. More leftist hypocrisy coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, thank y'all for joining me today. So, never let a crisis go to waste is a common tactic that you hear from the left. You know, it's an expression that they use. And basically what it means is that if there's an agenda that you want to push, because you know they're always agenda driven, they're not driven by truth, they're driven by an agenda. But if you have an agenda that you could ordinarily push, if a crisis or incident comes along that allows you to push that agenda, don't waste the opportunity. And that's simply what it means. Now, an example, and one of the things that the left are most always against and oppose is guns. They completely hate guns. They want to ban guns. They want to eradicate guns, except for their armed guards, of course. But for us, the everyday man, they don't want us to be able to protect ourselves. And if you notice in liberal leftist states, they have the most extreme gun laws, and they have the most extreme laws against people's use of guns. You know, you won't find a stand your ground law in California or New York, because these are leftist states that don't want people to be able to defend themselves. But you notice anytime there's a mass shooting, the left comes with their anti-gun rhetoric. Now, normally when they try to ban guns, that's one thing that the conservatives and the people on the right do not budge upon. We are solid about a lot of things and passive about a lot of things. When it comes down to gun ownership, that's the one thing that conservatives won't budge on. So they can't push their agenda normally. But however, anytime there's a mass shooting, then in comes the left with their anti-gun rhetoric. You know, we saw this with Dylan Roof, who the white guy shot the black people in a church in South Carolina. When that took place, it was, the race hustlers came out with the race hustling, and the white liberals, they came out with their anti-gun rhetoric. And then when we saw the Las Vegas shooter, again, they brought the anti-gun rhetoric. It was anti AR-15s, anti-bump stock. Most people didn't know the damn bump stock is, but they just in hysteria over bump stock. And anytime we see any of these mass school shootings, in come the left, and most of these white liberal females with their anti-gun rhetoric. They just want to ban guns. Now, where's the hypocrisy? Well, you never hear these same white liberal leftists, these white liberal Democrats, female Democrats. You never hear them with their anti-gun rhetoric when you see blacks do mass shootings, when blacks are killing and shooting like there's no tomorrow, killing and shooting each other. I didn't hear any gun rhetoric, anti-gun rhetoric whatsoever when those, 9 children were killed in Chicago in like a 2-week, 3-week period, something like that. We didn't hear any anti-gun speak from the left. When we hear about all these mass shootings going on in black communities in Chicago, you talk about 49 people shot on a weekend. Somebody do a drive-by, shoot up 10 folks and kill 2 or 3 of them or something like that. We don't hear anything from the left with the anti-gun rhetoric. And why is this? Well, because it destroys their narrative. It just conflicts with their narrative. If they have to highlight mass shootings in the black community, and then we start to see, okay, this is the truth about the black community. The same thing that black conservatives keep saying, how in the hell are we going to worry about what police officers are doing when I look at the more violence that's in the black community? So we need to deal with our own selves in our own black community, and that's most certainly what the left doesn't want, because the day that blacks start to clean up our own problems, the day that more and more blacks start to become conservative, and the day that more and more blacks are open about their conservatism, because I believe there's a lot of conservative blacks in America who are just solid out there because they get attacked. Again, look at what happened with Steve Harvey when he said, but let's just sit down and see what Trump has to say. So the left cannot afford to lose the black vote, and they're not going to touch any black on black violence. Not with a million-foot pole, they're not going to touch it, because they know if more and more blacks, we start to clean up our own community, we start to fix the black family, and more blacks will become conservative. And that's typically the thing when people become rich, they become conservative. Why? Because then they have to deal with all the realities of the laws and the nonsense and the regulation and restriction that's passed by the left. Anyway, if you were wondering why the left, including the race hustlers out there, never address black on black murder, black on black violence, black on black mass shooting, well, now you know, and knowing it's half the battle, and it's always y'all. And until next time.